Hey guys, it is Michelle. So we're filming in the room where I normally film. It's a wreck. So just so you know, I've been going through lots of fashion things actually. I'm sorry I didn't announce the timing of this. I had originally planned on doing it earlier. However, I got stuck in a massive snow rainstorm where like you couldn't see the kind of thing. I hate those. So, it took a little bit longer to get home than normal. I ended up going to pick up some stuff at Walmart, and okay, so I gotta tell you the story before we start talking about the fashion world. So, I bought a bottle of champagne a couple days ago, about a week ago, and it's been sitting so that we can make mimosas, which who doesn't love good mimosa? Anyway, hello, how are you? So I bought the champagne to make myself some mimosas, and it's Friday, so tonight we're going to drink mimosa. So as I go to open up the bottle of champagne, which I'm, I've never had issues opening bottles of champagne. So as I go to open it, I'm taking off the metal wire part that is holding in the cork, and I'm like half asleep, not well just got back from work and like I'm de-stressing and all that stuff. And I'm noticing that the cork is moving and I haven't tried to like push the cork out yet. And I'm like, that's interesting. Like this is all like within like half a second. So there goes the cork and literally champagne rains like everywhere. It's on the ceiling. I'm trying to like keep the bottle from leaking all over the place and save a little bit of champagne for myself in the process. And I'm like, thankfully, I'm very close to the sink. I was like literally like a little smidget over, and I was able to like try to control it. But I don't know if it was just my house was so warm that the pressure built up in this bottle, and when I just removed that little wire, that it just set it off. I have no idea. But that was fun. So instead of filming earlier like I had planned on, I had to literally clean champagne off of my ceiling, off of my floor, off of my counters because a champagne bomb just went poof. It was interesting. Made me work for that mimosa. So now I have my mimosa and we shall talk fashion. So that's how we do this. Oh, so good. I've really been loving mimosas since my trip to Bermuda, to be honest with you. Not that I had any mimosas in Bermuda. We did a lot of Bay Breezes and Pina Coladas. Regular, just champagne by itself. I'm glad you enjoyed the last video, Ramon. I love that outfit too. But I don't know. I've really been loving champagne. It's like I feel like we save champagne as like a special occasion kind of thing. And I'm like, well, why do we do that? We only drink it for like when somebody has a baby shower, there's a birth, or somebody gets engaged, or somebody's getting married, or that's the only time we really drink champagne. And I'm like, you know what? Every day should be a celebration. So I'm going to make mimosas whenever the heck I want. And so that's kind of like my mindset lately. It's like, why do we save special things? Like I do it myself with clothes or with certain makeup and certain perfumes. It's like, no. I'm not going to do that anymore because my Uma, my grandmother on my mom's side, she had a hope chest and there was stuff in there with items like the tags are still on it. And I don't want to be like that where things just, I want to enjoy them now, you know? So anyway, as the title says, let's talk about fashion. So I want to talk to you about some of my inspirations, some of the women that I look up to in many ways as far as my fashion influence. I really don't have one specific influence. I'm influenced by a lot of different people. I'm influenced by a lot of different trends or things that aren't trending anymore. But let's just start with some of the people that I guess you can say that I admire. I would say point blank, and I'm probably going to be, you're going to be like, really, Michelle? But since I was a little girl, Barbie was a huge influence for me. She was always very fashion forward and always put together very well. And as a little child, she was probably my first inspiration, to be honest with you. Of course, I was surrounded by beautiful women growing up as well. My mother is very, very well put, and she's extremely, she puts her outfits together very, very well. She also wears a lot of hosiery like I do. I've been wearing those since I was, my God, There's like pictures of me as a toddler in pantyhose. Like I've been literally wearing it probably since birth. Just because we've always felt that that was something that you don't go in certain outfits without them. Wearing them with jeans and shorts and stuff like that, I did on my own later on because I just like the way it feels and I like the way it looks. So Barbie was definitely an influence growing up, a huge influence as far as like fashion stuff goes, especially where I am currently residing, the area that I live in. It's not a fashion forward area at all. It's extremely country, and I'm very urban as far as where my fashion sense tends to go. So yeah, didn't have any inspirations locally. So she was definitely growing up a huge inspiration to me. There were women that I met growing up that were very inspiring to me like that as well. My godmother, um, she, when did I meet her? Like my confirmation godmother. I had to meet her when I was about 12 years old, and this woman was fiery. Fire. I loved her. Her spirit was so beautiful, very independent, very wouldn't let anything stop her. Like this woman had been through some crazy battles. When I met her, she was in her late 60s. This woman had defeated breast cancer. She had gone through some pretty hard battles and was the most loving, a beautiful woman, and a lot of spirit, a lot of life in her. And I really love that about her. And you would have looked at her and not thought that she was her age at all. She taught me some amazing lessons. Like self love and stuff like that, which is very important um, for everybody. Because, I was going through that stage as a teenager where you, your body's changing, hormones and this and that. I had to be about 15 years old at this time, and some of my friends had, larger chests than me, and they were, getting like their waists and stuff, little cute little waistlines and stuff like that, where I was a little bit of a late bloomer as far as maturity, physically went. And I hated how I looked. I was getting like breakouts, and I was like, well, my friends are gorgeous, and this and that, and just not good. I didn't feel good about myself. And I'll never forget this one thing she was saying to me because I came home and we were hanging out. My mom was coming home. She was bringing something home. I don't remember what it was. And she asked how I was, and I was depressed. And so the other girls, they get to wear cute little, little tops, and they have chests, and I don't. I was very self conscious, especially about that they're all wearing bras, and I'm like still in a trainer. And this may be TMI for some of you. I apologize. But that really bothered me because I didn't feel like a female. And she said, don't hate or wish for something like that because, and she explained to me how much she hated her chest. And then she ended up with breast cancer. And then she said, I wish I could have gone back and appreciated myself for who I was before what happened. And when she said that to me, it's always stuck with me ever since. She's since passed, unfortunately, of a different type of cancer. Cancer is a horrible thing, guys. It really is. But she said that to me, and it literally stopped me in my tracks. Where like, wow, like I never thought of it that way. Count your blessings. And after that, I did. Because it meant so. Those words really hit home with me. But she was very much into rhinestones, and like I would refer, like she's very old Hollywood. The way she dressed, and keep in mind this. We're talking different generation and stuff like that. She had long minks and stuff. We're talking about a completely different generation. I know in today's world, real furs are a big no-no, but that's what she was. She was very old Hollywood with the beautiful glitz and glam, and just how she put herself together. And I loved that about her. And she would do that every day. It didn't matter what the occasion was. It didn't have to be Christmas. She didn't have to be going to a premiere of a movie or something like that. She dressed like that every day, and I loved that about her. Loved her so much. But as far as inspiration, as far as people that you guys can relate to and know, as far as celebrities, Marilyn Monroe obviously is a huge inspiration. I love the 50s old Hollywood style a lot. I just love the glamour of it, and just a different different way of how people thought and how people worked and how the economy and everything was a completely different world than what we know now. But I loved how men and women dress. I love sharp dressed men. I love it when a guy wears a nice suit. I love it. One of my favorite things are like dress trench coats. Like the best way for me to describe it, like is in Home Alone, the father has that tan um, winter trench coat that he wears, and I think that those style of trench coats are so beautiful. I love them when men wear those kinds of. Oh, it's just beautiful. It just really puts together an outfit. It's just layering something that looks absolutely beautiful. And hi, how are you? Yes, finally did another live one. But yeah, I love it when men dress sharp, and I love it when women dress sharp. I like when people put attention into how they dress because today's world, today's generations, younger generations, they tend not to do that. They don't really pay attention to details. I remember when I graduated high school that a lot of the people showed up in flip flops. A lot of the people I graduated with didn't even have the courtesy to wear something. I'm not saying, I showed up in a gown, but that's just me. But I mean, they didn't even show up in like nice slacks and a decent shirt. They showed up in torn jean cutoffs and flip flops to their graduation. No, there's certain times where you don't dress like that. You have to kind of like differentiate a little bit. But again, like I said, Old Hollywood, Marilyn Monroe, one of my favorites. I also love women who are very, very powerful, very strong. I love Joan Jett. I have a thing for leather. I love having worn leather pants in a while, especially recently. It's very hot. I love leather. I love how she held herself. She was just a very beautiful woman. Oh, thank you, Phil. And I do try to bring class to my outfits. It's something that I feel you don't see anymore, and I feel that you don't need. And I wish more girls would realize you don't need to be half naked to be sexy. You can, if you really put thought into how you look and how you dress, you can be extremely sexy and not show any skin at all. It's all how you carry yourself. It's all on how you put yourself together. There's a huge difference between being half naked and then dressing very put together. And that's kind of why I started doing fashion videos originally, because I wanted to show younger people and people more my age group, because that's also something in my age group that it's very lax fashion, that I wanted to show that, we need to bring this kind of style back, like old Hollywood and these older styles, because I think it's so much, it's a dying art in a way. It's just something I really wish would come back, and it's just such a shame. Like I said, so yeah, Marilyn Monroe and I would say Joan Jett are two celebrities that I really, really love the most. And as far as celebrity goes, I'm trying to think of other celebrities that I admire for their fashion sense. And off the top of my head, those are the two main ones. Again, they're not mainstream. And, well, I guess they're kind of more cult idols now these days. Like, they're more fashion icons than anything else. I even like Audrey Hepburn to an extent, not as much as I love Marilyn. But Audrey also had a very sense of style. But again, same time frame here. Types of fashion that I love, besides old Hollywood, I've always loved gothic fashion as well. And I don't mean, there's a type of goth here. When I talk about gothic fashion, I'm talking more about the type of gothics like in Interview with the Vampire, the very overly detailed jackets with all the beautiful lace. They're extremely detailed costumes. Well, back in that time frame, it wasn't a detailed costume, if you know what I mean. That's how they dressed. But, very ornate, very well put together. I love that type of gothic. Now, there's different types of goths, and we could go into that. That's a whole video within itself, the different styles, the different types, the different genres. But I like that particular style of goth. It's very old world, but very well put. And a lot of it is it is European. Very, really can't describe it. I just love the lace. You guys have seen, I do have a few gothic pieces that have like corset detailing. I want to get a true corset. I love that look with certain outfits. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love the lace details, and they normally have very intricate, like piping on those types of outfits. I've been to Japan and seen the goth people. Yes, Japan does have a style of goth as well. I've heard pastel goth and stuff, but the type I like is like typically Interview with the Vampire. If you haven't seen that movie, it's like a 3-hour movie. It's really awesome. Um, it's the fashion in there is really beautiful, like the big petticoats and stuff like that. Love that particular type. I'm not talking necessarily, and this is not an insult to anybody that dresses like with just the black eyeliner and just like a black t-shirt and pants. Not insulting those types of goths. Everybody has their own thing, but I like the more intricate styling. There is somebody on here, I forget her name. She lives in Europe. I think she's called Black Friday, and I love her style. It's very old worldly like that. Now with gothic fashion normally comes a lot of pentagrams. There is some satanic stuff with it. I don't, me personally, I don't like that part of it. Because my own religion, I never got into that aspect of it. But the main reason why I didn't get to express myself when I was younger, as far as gothic fashion went, like the whole Interview with the Vampire thing, is my mother automatically believed that anything gothic had to do with the devil. So she wouldn't let me express myself that way because she thought I was like, going down a road that I shouldn't be going. When truly, for me, it was strictly the fashion. I just loved the lace. And my mother loves black lace. Like, my mother's favorite color to wear is black because she thinks it's very classy. I mean, look what your girl's wearing. I'm wearing this Michael Kors with these zippers. Love Michael Kors as well. But she loves black lace and stuff like that. I guess she was afraid of where I was going spiritually, but that was never a question for me. With the whole gothic fashion thing. But I love it. I also kind of like, to an extent, like the scene queens, mainly because my hair is so thick. As you guys know, you've seen it. Look at this mop. My hair there's tons of it. And it's because it's been raining. It's like, it's like geek right now. But I have trouble building volume with this. So it's normally up back here with a little half updo, sometimes I'll straighten it. But I can never figure out to this day, well, I've seen videos on how the scene queens get that volume. Oh, jealous beyond belief. I have tried. This girl's hair does not do it. And I'm pretty sure that they use extensions in some of that as well. And I got enough hair as it is. The last thing this girl needs in her life is more hair. Let me have a sip. But yeah, my style really has a very, very wide range. I love the 80s. It's one of my absolute favorite decades. I wish I could be my age now in the 80s, truly. I love the big hair band. I love the music, the rock, everything about the 80s I live for. The fashion, I mean, I'm hippie, so high-waisted pants are a great thing. I do still have leg warmers. I have a pair of black ones with little red hearts. The pink ones that I wore in my one video were loaned to me from a friend. They were actually from the 80s. Those, I wish she wouldn't let me keep them, but yes. So I do have a pair of leg warmers. They're black with little red hearts on them, and they're absolutely adorable. But I love, love, love the 80s. I love all 80s. My favorite horror films are from the 80s. Most of my favorite movies are actually... Anything that I truly love tends to be from the 80s. One of my favorite movies is The Labyrinth with David Bowie. Love David Bowie even without The Labyrinth. Haven't got any more... I do have more pantyhose videos coming, guys. Haven't bought any new pantyhose. Actually, I'll show you what I have bought. I have bought some costume stuff. I really needed that mimosa. After almost an hour of cleaning my kitchen after the bottle mess up. Breakfast Club is a great movie. Love it. It's so hard for me to pick a favorite movie from the 80s. It's disgusting. Labyrinth is one of my top faves from the 80s. I love 80s horror. Poltergeist is a great movie. Oh, I do have toy videos coming up. I have a toy coming in the mail. I have a collection. I'm waiting on one more in this series. It's a Funko series. I'm just waiting on one more to come in. And this other one is from the 90s. It's all toy. Yes, I love the 80s more so much. And I know that it made a slight comeback a few years ago, but not as good as the original. Let's be honest here. I love, like, I think that's where my inspiration for my big hoops come from, is from those 80s styles. I love, love, love big hoops. I actually still have some pieces that are actually 80s pieces. I have some mom's jewelry from then. Thank you. I'm glad you guys love my fashion sense. What else from the 80s do I have? I still have a bunch of 80s toys. I got a lot of troll dolls, but that trolls are more 90s, to be frank. Trying to go through. Fraggle Rock is by far one of my hugest. I mean, my love for Fraggle Rock is pretty disgusting, to be honest. I've loved it since I was a child. And this is how bad. I'm going to admit something to you guys that I think maybe 2 or 3 people in my life have actually known about this. So I am not tattooed. I'm actually needle phobic. So I love the art of tattoos. I really do. I have a lot of friends who are tattooed, and their tattoos are absolutely phenomenal, gorgeous. They have some amazing artists, and I can appreciate the art behind tattooing. And I would love to get one, but I am so scared about needles that I've never gotten a tattoo. And at this point, I've like accepted that faith. Like, okay, there's no chance in hell that I can sit through a tattoo without freaking out. Now, as you guys know, I got a second hole in my ear about a year ago. Let me tell you how that went. So, my friend knew, my best friend has known for quite many years. I've always said, I'll get my second hole one day. One day I'll do it. One day I'll do it. And one day never came. So, she was going to get her nose pierced and a few other things. So, we went out shopping, having a good time. And we pull up in front of a tattoo parlor, which isn't weird to me because she has tattoos. I just thought maybe she wanted to check this artist out. That's cool. She's like, oh, by the way, you're getting your ears pierced. Okay. I had to prepare myself mentally for 2 months to go for blood work. Now I have like 10 seconds to prep for this. I did fine, but she's got video footage of me, and look, I'm whiter than a sheet. Like, I'm ready to lose it. But the guy was really great. It wasn't bad. I mean, it's just an earlobe, so it didn't hurt. It's just the anticipation. It was just bad. So I'm really not good as far as piercings go. But at one point, because this is leading up to another story, I kind of go off end sometimes. But at one point, I was designing a tattoo with my love for Fraggle Rock. This is how bad it is, guys. Like I said, I haven't admitted this to too many people. But I would say about 20. I was in college for art education at this point. And I had designed a piece. I never knew where I was going to put it. I had assumed on the arm, but I really didn't want an arm piece on myself. I just don't think I could pull it off. And it was Fraggle Rock, and it was Gobo on top of like a rock formation, and it said, live by the rule of the rock. It's one of his sayings in one of the shows. That is how obsessed. I was willing to get a tattoo of Fraggle Rock. I know. People are like, Michelle, really? I get it. But yeah, Fraggle Rock is probably one of the cult things from the 80s that I love most. But let me show you some of these things that I recently bought. These are all costumes. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them for Halloween. I have an outfit that I'm doing for work for Halloween. I don't know about any parties that are going on that I may be attending. It is July, so it's early. So I have some ideas, and I've been wanting this one costume for quite some time. I don't even know if I'll ever use it. I'll do a video maybe on it. Main reason because I'm blonde, and this particular character is not, and I have never dyed my hair. I don't want to dye my hair. So I may have to get a wig if I do try to pull this off. So this is the costume. For those of you who are not familiar with who this is Lydia from Beetlejuice. Now, this particular version of Lydia is from the cartoon. She had this poncho that had a spider web on it, and I love it. I found this, this picture was like circling around Facebook at some point, and I loved I love Beetlejuice. I love the movie. I love the cartoon. It's been one of my favorite things since I was a kid. I'm like obsessed with Beetlejuice. Who is what I'm being for work. We're doing villains, and I chose Beetlejuice because he's cool. He's 80s. I love him. So I've been wanting to do a Lydia costume for quite some time, which I would have done for work, but we're doing villains, and Lydia is not a villain. So this is the poncho. It's a really pretty. There's the web, and it's got glitter in it, so I'm really excited about this. However, I don't have black hair, so I either have to find a wig or get one of those spray-ins. But the last time I tried to spray in, it didn't go well, and my hair was like semi-dyed for a while. It took me forever to get it out. Next, these are really awesome. Now, this is for the one red dress that you guys have seen me wear. I finally found a pair of purple satin gloves for Jessica Rabbit. Yeah, I'm not a redhead, but to kind of like, I guess some people call it cosplaying. But that's my awesome purple gloves for Jessica Rabbit. And I used to have tons of long gloves. I have one or two, I think, left, but age has destroyed some of them. So I did have a black pair at one point. I don't anymore, so I got the black gloves. So these are really, these are long too. I think they go all the way up the arm. I think they come to about here, which I'm really excited about. The website also had a few other colors, so I may go back for more. But the main one that I was looking for were the purple Jessica Rabbits, because you can't be Jessica without those gloves. And I couldn't find them. So, yes, you'll be seeing videos on those soon. I was hoping to wait more towards Halloween months, but I may have fun playing with them now anyway. I don't know about Lydia, though. I may just do Lydia's hair, like my hair like Lydia does, and put the outfit together. I just don't have any Doc Martin kind of shoes. All my shoes, I need new shoes. Like, she's got these Doc Martin things on. I don't remember what kind of shoe she wore in the show. I know it wasn't anything crazy because she was a child, so they had to be some kind of a flat shoe. But my shoe collection, guys, it's hurting right now. I really superly need to go out shoe shopping. I've just been so busy. I haven't had a chance. Summer is always crazy for me. My birthday's in the summer. No, you can never have too many shoes. This is very true, James. My birthday's in the summer. My brother's birthday is literally 2 weeks after me. He was actually due on my birthday. He was 2 weeks late. So we are legitimately 5 years, 2 weeks apart exactly to the day. Yeah, I gotta see if I can do a shoe shopping video. I am extremely picky with shoes, so that's the problem. In the area that I live in, they don't have my style. It really, really stinks. Really stinks. They're all about Crocs and Uggs. Not my thing, really. But my shoe collection is starting to... I've worn some out so much that they're falling apart. What are my favorite brands for shoes? That is a very good question. Okay. I like this one a lot. So my favorite brands. Whoo! This is going to be a while, guys. I love Michael Kors. I think he has produced some amazing shoes. As far as like really cute shoes that are cheap, I would go AMI Clubwear. I've been recently going on this website called Pleaser because they have some really crazy platform shoes. Okay, truth be told, I think it's a stripper website, to be honest with you. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But I forgot who... I saw a pair of shoes in one of those magazines like Vogue, and it was a really cool Mary Jane, but the platform was like this, and your girl loves platforms, even though I'm kind of taller, I guess. Well, no, I'd say I'm average, maybe. I'm 5'7". But I fell in love with that style, so when I looked it up, and they have some crazy shoes. So Pleaser is something I'm interested in. I would love some Jeffrey Campbell's. Graveyard Girl used to do videos of Jeffrey Campbell's all the time, and some of those shoes are to die for. I love International Concepts through Macy's, or Inc. It's also called. They have some really beautiful shoes. Some other good brands. Steve Madden is good. As far as expensive brands, obviously Christian Louboutin. I owned a pair once, but because of the European sizing, I wasn't very familiar with the European sizing at that point. So I bought a shoe that was way too small. It was a cute little kitten heel mule. I ended up having to sell it. But there's no Christian Louboutins near where I live. So I would, next time, if I buy again from them, I would like to try them on. I have no idea when I'll ever get to a Christian Louboutin. I love Valentino. Valentino's shoes are absolutely gorgeous as well. Um, I like Gucci fashion. The shoes lately have been scary to me. Just because Gucci, I feel, has gotten like a little gaudy lately. Some of the stuff is a little gaudy. Some of it is absolutely stunning, but I feel like all brands are like, well, not necessarily all. I feel like Versace tends to be less gaudy. But Gucci has some gaudy pieces I've noticed lately. It's not bad, but every brand is like most brands, I should say. Most brands are like that. Like Betsey Johnson. I love Betsey Johnson. Oh, I love her. She's like my spirit animal. But some of her stuff, I either really, really love it because it's super girly and blingy and colorful and gorgeous, or it's a little too gaudy for me. Like, there's no in between with her. It's either love or, well, I don't hate it. It's just not me. You know what I mean? To each his own. But yeah, I would say that those are my favorite brands as far as shoes go. I saw one of you asked what my favorite pantyhose brands are. Right now, I'm liking No Nonsense. I went back to Legs briefly because you guys were requesting suntan, hosiery, and Legs were the only ones I could find at the point. Garbage. Absolute garbage. I would not recommend Legs to anybody. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I really haven't veered too far off from them. There's a few brands I've used at Macy's, but they're no-namers. But I have seen a pair, is it Fendi or is it Gucci? But it's a pair of tights like with their emblem on it, and I am like, your girl's thinking about possibly getting them as a little treat for myself, and doing some videos with them because I think they'd be hot with a little mini skirt. I think they'd be adorable. What else? But that's gonna have to wait a little bit. I just had to do some work on my car, and it was a little bit of bread. So I wanted to my wallet broke, and I wanted to replace it. It's Coach. And my last Coach lasted me like 10 years. It really held up. This one's lasted 2. So I read that if a Louis breaks in a way like it's not supposed to, like normal wear and tear, that happens. But because this thing shouldn't have broken the way it did, that they'll repair it. So I'm thinking about investing in a Louis Vuitton wallet next. But that's gonna have to wait a little bit because the car has to come first. It is what it is. You gotta love life, right? These things happen. If you own a car, at some point you're gonna have to put money into it, right? Oh, that's awesome, Ramon. Yeah, I think it's something because I've had this talk about pantyhose at work a few times because a lot of the girls I work with they don't like wearing them either. Some of them because it irritates their skin. I guess if your skin is sensitive, that can happen. I have eczema, and honestly, one of the main reasons why I love wearing them more so in the summer than the winter. I wear them in the winter to keep my like an extra layer of warmth. But like you'll see me wearing them with shorts in the summertime because if you're a little on the thicker side and your thighs touch, remember that makes you closer to being a mermaid, girls. Remember that. Mm-hmm. So if your legs touch, I've used every powder out there. I've tried the deodorant trick. It doesn't work. And with having eczema, it makes it worse. So your irritation and you are miserable. It's horrible. I hate it. So I was like, you know what? Let's put on pantyhose with these shorts instead. And I'm telling you, I never went back. I love it. I've never gotten irritations. And I just like the way it makes my legs look. I think it's like, if you have like a little imperfection or anything on your legs, the pantyhose just makes it and completes it. And with the right shoes, which your girl needs to go shoe shopping soon, it really elevates now. Even shorts and a shirt with a cute pair of wedges and some pantyhose and a little clutch look amazing. You know what I'm saying? I've had some of you guys request white tights or white pantyhose. Now, I'm not going to lie to you here. I bought a pair. I had to figure out how to do an outfit around this that doesn't look like a nurse. I've seen some girls pull it off. I can pull off most colors. Those ones, I'm not so sure. The challenge has been accepted and it will be met. And I know a lot of you have requested, sorry guys, my eye itches, driving video. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not that I don't want to film it for you guys, because I know I've been getting lots and lots of questions about this. It's more that I don't know how to do this in a safe manner and have the camera film properly. Because the way my car is set up, there's a huge thing in the middle of the seats where it's not like you can look down at my feet. Like if you're my passenger, you can't see my legs at all. So it's not like I can have somebody sit next to me and photograph or videotape me driving because you can't see anything because I have my console takes up literally the whole middle. You can't see anything from either side. So I don't know, or unless I borrow a friend's car. I'm not sure. It's not a no, guys. It's just I don't know how to film this safely. Okay, so don't worry. I hear your suggestions. It's not that they're not something that I don't want to do. It's just I gotta figure a way of doing it safely. I could try putting the camera on the floor. Yeah, I gotta think about lighting. We'll figure it out. I'll play with it, guys. We'll figure this out. I want to do vlogs while I'm driving, like on my way to work and stuff like that as well, and just talk to you guys. I've been really wanting to do that a lot more lately. I've really been enjoying doing these live chats with you, but I've kind of a little off topic, haven't I? But if you guys don't mind, I don't mind either. But I did want to talk about some of my fashion dislikes as well. Oh, that's good to know. Thanks, James. I didn't know that. But let's talk about some of the stuff I can't stand about fashion. Now, I mentioned two already, and for some reason, I don't even know why they were a thing. Crocs are one, and Uggs, girls. And I see it a lot where I live. It's a pet peeve of mine more than you'll ever know, guys. Uggs. These girls will wear booty shorts where the little butt cheeks are hanging out, which is, it's summer. That's cool. You do you. But they wear the Uggs that come halfway up the calf with the fur. They're a winter shoe, sweetheart. Don't be bringing that out. No, it's not cute. You're just confused. Are your feet cold and your butt is like hot? Yes, during the summer, James. I can't tell you how often I see Uggs with shorts where I live. Or with yoga pants. They love doing the yoga pants with them as well. But the shorts just mind boggles me more than you'll ever know. And that's probably why I hate them, because I don't feel like they're being worn properly. In the summer they don't belong. In the wintertime, I get it. I've heard that they're soft and they feel like you're walking on clouds. I'll take your word for it. Now, we bought a pair for somebody for Christmas because that's what they really wanted for Christmas. So we go to Macy's to buy this pair of Uggs that's against my entire well-being. And I'm looking at the bottom of this shoe. And to me, the bottom of these Uggs, or at least the ones that I found, like the classic looking ones that everybody likes, the fur, aren't made very well. And I'm in an area where the terrain is pretty rough. I have a pair of shoes. I can show you what terrain has done to the bottom of them. And they're very similar. Let me see if I can get this without making a huge mess, because this room, hello, is bad right now because I'm going through purses and stuff that I'm getting rid of. The soles are supposed to be soft, but let me show you this shoe. Now this, granted, it's old, but the bottom of this is very similar to an Ugg. Now the other one, if I would have grabbed it, it's completely destroyed. And I don't wear them everywhere, okay? So, I mean, you can see this is old, but the bottom is very, very similar. So, next to this Ugg was something called Bear Paw, I think is the name of this other brand. I don't want to call it a knockoff Ugg, but it's a similar styled shoe. It's also a cheaper shoe. Now, when I look at the bottom of that particular shoe, the bottom is a thicker rubber. This is something you could potentially walk in on, like a gravel driveway or in snow. You're not going to slip necessarily because it had some traction under it, where you don't have that with Uggs. I don't know if Uggs are meant to be a slipper. I don't know if just the bottom of that shoe, I would never, ever, ever bring that thing outside. And the money they want for it, just, I don't get it. I don't get it. They just marketed it and they're like, make the money. Let's make it popular. Let's sell as many as we can. It's just not me, and I don't think that it polishes an outfit. I really don't. I know girls think it's super cute, and what do they call that? Being basic? I think that's the terminology they use. I think it's called being basic. Like, it's typically, from what I understand, the basic or basic girl typically is blonde. Uggs with yoga pants and um, I think it's a pumpkin spice latte or pumpkin spice something from Starbucks. Um, hey, if you want to be that, that's cool. I don't want to be basic. I want to stand out, and I've always been that way. Even in high school, I didn't. It's not that I would potentially not follow trends. There's certain ones I refuse to follow just because everybody else did it. My style was almost on the verge of 80s rave. It was really, I wore nothing but metallics and stuff like that. I was wearing metallics before metallics became a thing in the 2000s. I think I set the precedent. But yeah, Uggs is one of those things I cannot stand. I don't think they do anything for an outfit. They don't add any class to an outfit. There's no need to wear them unless you're using them as slippers. Crocs, I don't understand the thing with that either. They're just an ugly rubber shoe, and then you're putting those little things in the holes, like the little decorative charm things. Which so now, if they're anything like jelly shoes, and I don't own Crocs, so now jelly shoes, if you wore them too long, your feet would sweat, and you would get this disgusting, weird foot odor. So now you have a Croc, and you have holes to try to aerate your foot because at some point wearing rubber shoes, your foot is going to stink. So now let's just take some of these little charms, put that in the holes, and just let that foot marinate and get all nice and gross. No, thank you. And I don't know, they just, I guess I've seen like they have some styles now that aren't, that can almost pass as a shoe, but Crocs, man, they're just not my thing. But I heard they haven't been doing good lately, so maybe they're finally coming down from their pedestal. What else? Now that I'm thinking about my pet peeves, any pantyhose you would never wear. Legs are the worst company ever as far as quality goes. Um, yeah, I bought the suntan this one time, and legs are like by far the worst I have ever used. It's not worth your money. It truly isn't, guys. You're not saving anything. Um, I just it's bad. If you're looking for a decent pair that's not that expensive, go with legs. They're not legs. Go with no nonsense. They're so much better. Trust me on that. And the pricing is comparable. Okay, what's other fashion stuff I don't like? Oh, okay. This is a new one. Fairly new. I don't know if it's a thing yet. Um, they're hair scrunchies, but they're made out of like that rubbery plastic stuff that you used to hang your keys on. Now, I don't know about you guys. If I put that thing in my hair, I'll have to cut my hair off. It looks like I don't have anything that resembles it, but you know those keychains where it has the little key ring on it, and it's just this like stretchy little coils. It's like a rubber coil. People are using that as hair ties now. I don't know. People are just odd to me. Very, very odd. What other? Man, like there's so many things that are like faux pas to me, or irk me when I see people do it, and I can't even think. Let's see. This one. Low waist pants. I don't wear low waist pants anymore. In in college, I was a lot skinnier. Um, I had an eating issue, but I was a size 1. Nowhere near that now. But I could wear those low rise pants back then, but I always had like issues with my butt. Like you bend over, your butt crack hangs out. Now that I'm at a healthier way of living, I would say, when I try on low rise pants, because I have a bit of a butt, my butt crack is always hanging out in them. So I don't like wearing them if I can avoid them. So I try finding high-waisted things. It's difficult though. It's really hard, especially if you have any kind of curve. Finding jeans is a pain in the ass because a lot of them are designed low cut. And having hips, if I wear something low cut, it looks like I have a muffin top. And it makes me feel self-conscious, to be honest with you. It just doesn't look right. Whereas you have different built women who are very flat, or they don't have as much curve, so they can pull that look off. That's great. I mean, Avril Lavigne was very, in her early days, she's still very tiny, to be honest with you. But she can pull off those low ride pants, and she doesn't have to worry about her butt crack or anything hanging out. And she doesn't have the hips like I do. She has a very slender built frame, and it looks really nice on her. It doesn't work for me, which stinks because I used to love them. But to each his own. To be honest, like at one point, I wanted to try to get back down to a size 1. Um, Health wise, it's not realistic. It really isn't. And I've accepted that fact. And it's like, you know, it's more about my health, which is why I eat healthy. I exercise regularly. I watch what I eat. And so it's more about health. I know I'll never be a size 1 again. And that's fine with me because it was dangerous. I was pretty close to, I was pretty close I was very sick. Very sick. Um, yeah, don't worry. I don't think I could ever go back to a size 1, not safely anyway. And as far as like plastic surgeries and stuff like that, I wouldn't do lipo or anything like that for that. Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't really need a tummy tuck or anything like that. There's just like for me. I mean, if you're anybody, male, female, whatever, if there's something about you that you feel so self-conscious over, like maybe you have something on your nose that you want it shaved down, or you're self-conscious about your size or whatever, you're right. Beauty is not limited to your size. Absolutely agree with you, James. I have things in my closet where it's from some of it's an extra small all the way up to extra large. I don't look at my labels anymore, and that's very important. I know so many girls that do. They just focus on that number in the back of the jeans, and it's a horrible way to live. I've been there. It's not fun at all. So it's hard to get out of that mindset. It took me a very, very long time to get out of that mindset. It's not easy. It really isn't. But we move forward from there. Okay. What were we talking about? I fell off the deep end again. Yes, this is very true. I've met quite a few as well that I don't know if we've become too relaxed in society where there is no such thing as like taste. I just feel like the way before Labor Day thing isn't practiced anymore. Like there's certain rules that I'll still follow to an extent. Like at one point I would never ever ever mix different metals of jewelry. Like I wouldn't mix. If I'm wearing gold, I'm wearing gold. If I'm wearing silver, I'm wearing silver. To an extent, I still do that. Like I wouldn't wear a gold and silver necklace unless it was like one of those costume pieces that come that way. If I'm wearing gold, I prefer gold, to be honest with you. I like the way it looks on my skin tone. I know a lot of girls prefer silver, which is cool. I love silver too, but gold is my color. I just love it. But that was something that I used to never do. Was like if you wore gold, you wore gold. If you wore silver, you wore silver, and that was it. Once in a great while, I'll change it up, like where I'll have a silver ring here, a gold ring here. It's very rare. But we've come to a point where I feel that most people think that being feminine shows weakness. So we don't want to be feminine necessarily anymore. And I don't agree with that at all. That's why I love Joan Jett, because she's feminine, but she's powerful. You know what I mean? And she also had a little bit of an edge. I love a little bit of an edge, as you guys know. I love spikes and chains on my clothing and stuff like that. Yes, my zippers actually are gold. And the funny thing is, my mom bought me this same top with silver ones too. So I have this same top in 2 different styles. And I think it's super cute. Yes, James, I agree. I do think that femininity is a very strong and powerful thing as well. But I think that, I don't know if it was magazines, I don't know what brought it on, that I think that at some point people felt that it doesn't make you, like, I don't know if they felt because, like, oh, maybe I'm the weaker sex, where I wish people would stop thinking like that. Everybody is special, everybody is beautiful, and everybody has their own strengths, regardless of your gender or religion, color, race, whatever you are. Being confident within yourself is sexy. Being, secure in who you are is sexy. And I love, women who are extremely feminine. I love it when I meet other girls that like to dress similarly, who like putting care into it. Maybe part of it's laziness too. Maybe just like, well, I don't want to take the time into doing it. That could be another factor in why fashion has gotten lazy over the years as well. And I don't think everybody's like that. Now, I'm not a fan I'm not a huge fan of the Kardashians, truth be told. I don't, you know, everybody has their. I just don't like reality television. That's another thing we'll talk about in a minute. Um, but I have to say, the Kardashians do present themselves like they do keep themselves clean and they present themselves, they put thought into their looks. Do I agree with their looks half the time? No. That whole Kanye West outfit is like the nude tank top and just leggings. I'm sorry, leggings should not be worn as pants in my opinion. And what I mean by that is like, yes, give the girl the right shoes, she can conquer the world. No, I agree with you that on that as well. Like just like I don't know, the whole like and everybody was doing it like the whole leggings and like it looked like a tan bra that she had on, and to me it just looked messy or something you would wear to the gym. Now I don't dress like that at the gym personally. I actually wear like sweatshirts and sweatpants because I want to sweat because I want to burn more calories. And if you're half naked, it's going to take you longer to sweat. So I want to get the sweat going as soon as I can and get my adrenaline going, my heart pumping. But I just wasn't a fan of wearing leggings as pants. Now, leggings to me should be worn with a tunic, or I will substitute really short dresses as tunics as well. But they should be worn under something long. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see the band on your leggings. And I think that's another thing that we need to stop doing. And I know that they've been doing it for quite some time. It's becoming a thing now to wear leggings as pants. And you shouldn't be doing that. No. There's something that you wear underneath things. Another thing, this thing is from the 80s, but it's making a comeback, and I hated it. Hated it. Never understood it, to be honest with you. Stirrup pants. Who else remembers stirrup pants? They're basically leggings, and there's this little, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can always Google it. And it has this piece of elastic that you put under your heel, and then you put on your shoes, like sneakers or whatever you're wearing, or, flats. Oh my god, my mom had so many pairs of those for me. She must have gotten them on sale or something. Oh my god, do I hate them. Because I never understood why I needed the stupid stirrup thingy. Because my pants weren't moving. Like, they stayed. Because it's like I said, it's like a legging. It's not moving anywhere. Why do you need this little annoying piece of elastic hanging off of your flippin' foot? Like, and it would annoy me because I would wear it in my shoe, and depending on the season and stuff like that, if it was during the summertime, I didn't have a thick sock on, so it would blister the bottom of my foot, and it would hurt. And I hated it. Mom wouldn't let me cut them out. She's like, I paid good money for those pants. I understand, Mom, but I hate those pants. And those stirrup things are becoming a thing again. I don't know why. I'm not riding a horse in them. And if I'm wearing if I'm riding a horse, the stirrup is on the horse, not on my pants. I don't know. That's the one thing. And the mullet. There's only one mullet that I could get down with. That was Lionel Richie's mullet. His was glorious. Some of them were a little scary. A little bit. Although, there's some people I went to school with that still rock the mullet. But, rock on, dude. But yeah, as far as the values of the Kardashians, I agree. I don't support them either. I just don't. I know we're supposed to talk about fashion here, but my thing is with these reality TV shows now, I remember when they first started coming out, we're making people famous for the sake of being famous. Like, these people are just famous for what? Well, some of the Kardashians are famous for different reasons. We won't get into those details. But I feel like that we create these shows and we watch these train wrecks. And for what? That we're not getting any educational value. We're not bettering ourselves watching these shows. I actually don't have cable anymore. I haven't had cable in years because of the reality TV, because you're not getting anything out of it. It's just stupid. Jersey Shore was stupid. But it was so popular. Everybody was going crazy for the Jersey Shore. Now, you from Jersey? I have family from Jersey, and I love them to death. And they don't act like the way those people were portrayed. And most people from Jersey don't act like that. They were just like a bunch of party people. And I'm sorry, any state is going to have party people that act outlandish. It's just a thing. Look in your town. I'm sure you can name a few people right now that you know. Oh, that's so-and-so. I guarantee it. And this, okay, this may sound bad, but the one thing that annoys me most about the Keeping Up with the Kardashian show is they're very not nit. What's what I'm looking for here? Like the whole ugly cry thing that became popular, that annoys me, and even their voices to an extent do as well. I don't know if they're nice people. Maybe they are nice people. To each his own. You're making your money. You gotta do something right. It's just I don't like reality shows. I just don't think that they support anything good. You know? Yeah, you're right. That's exactly right. Producers just want to make a show that, train wrecks is what I call people like that, where they leave like like you said, like a disaster behind them everywhere they go. And I don't like surrounding myself with these types of people, to be honest with you. When I meet somebody that's like that, I try to keep as far away from them as humanly possible. It's like, because you're not bringing, and I don't mean this to sound the way it's going to sound, because I guess this could be taken the wrong way. You're not bringing anything good into my life. Normally, people like that have a lot of problems. They could have rap sheets a mile long. Not necessarily true, but these people, if you get involved with them on a regular basis, at some point you're going to find yourself in some trouble, whether it's legally or whatever. You're going to have some problems if you're around people like this. So, and it's also very important who you surround yourself with too, because you are judged by who you hang out with, essentially. I had an issue not that long ago where I had somebody on my Facebook post something, and somebody said something to me about it, and I was like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. But the post offended somebody. I didn't post it, but this person that was on my Facebook, I hadn't seen this person in years, and it started some turmoil. So, but they're like, be careful who you associate with. And I was like, well, you're right. And the person I deleted after that, because I hadn't talked to them in years anyway, but you need to really watch who you associate with as well, because, you may feel sorry for this person because they are a train wreck, but people are going to start thinking that you are that way as well, and are making decisions that aren't necessarily good ones. So, yeah. So that's my thought on the whole reality TV. I miss some of my favorite old shows. It's supposed to be about fashion, but here we're talking about, like, we're just reminiscing here, guys. I love Cheers. I visited the city of Boston going on 3 years ago now, and oh my god, what a clean city. It's beautiful. And we went in the summertime, and they had all these street performers. They had a really cute, like, farmer's market, and there's people there selling crafts and stuff. It was amazing. We went to the aquarium while we were down there. If I could pick any city that I'd want to live in, I would definitely pick Boston. It is beautiful. I loved that city so, so much. But yeah, when I watch Cheers, it's like, because we stopped at the little Cheers place there. And Cheers is one of my favorite shows. Still love that show. Love the Golden Girls. Like, I miss shows. Like, actual shows. Not this reality garbage. Like I said, I haven't had actual television, actual cable. I haven't paid a cable bill in like 10 years because I couldn't get into it. And I remember like the whole fad thing with American Idol. Everybody like, did you see last night's American Idol? No. What do you mean you didn't see it? Did you vote for who? Like, no. Can we watch something good? Do people even keep up on like the news anymore? It is better not to have it, James. Because I feel like I was just paying for commercials and reality TV. And I don't know whose reality is like that. My reality is not like that at all. Does anybody else live like those people doing these shows? Not me. And I didn't like the whole Toddlers and Tiaras show either. That's a whole nother story. We won't talk about that kind of thing. But, We should get back to fashion, though. Sorry, guys. I go off on tangents all the time. I'll talk about some of my favorite brands, like even oldies and goodies. Not orange juice mimosa. Oh yeah, half orange juice, half champagne. I've really been enjoying mimosas lately. I don't know, summer drink. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I just feel like we save certain things for special occasions, like champagne. And I'm like, well, why do I need a special occasion for champagne? You shouldn't have to get married just to drink champagne. You shouldn't have to have, engagement party or a baby shower or I don't know whether, I guess, graduation. You drink champagne. You don't need to have a special event to drink champagne. Let's just drink it. That's my theory on it. So I made myself a mimosa, and the bottle went crazy. The bottle blew up on me. So enjoy my Friday night mimosa, even though you're supposed to drink them in the morning. You know what I don't like? I've tried it. I'm not a fan of Bloody Marys. Mm-mm. Just not my thing. I think mainly because I remember growing up, my dad and my grandfather used to drink V8s. Not the fun, fruity one that they have now. The tomato juicy one. And they used to love it. So one day I was like, well, if they love it, this has got to be good, right? Especially with my grandfather being such a huge influence on me. So, and they came in these tiny little cans, like little tiny things. There's a reason for that, so you can chug it and be done with it and have your vitamins. So I opened one, and it was cold. It was in the fridge, and it tasted like cold Campbell's soup, like Campbell's tomato soup. Oh my god, so gross. And I kind of I don't know what I was expecting V8 to taste like. I really don't know. I was a child. I was like 12 when I did this. I don't know. I just thought it would be magical, and it wasn't. I wanted to put it in the microwave and warm it up, to be honest with you. I was like, I'm not supposed to be drinking soup cold. I guess you could, but, I didn't like cold tomato soup. And that's kind of what I feel like drinking Bloody Mary. I know some people put Tabasco in it, but I've had it a couple different ways, and it's just not my thing. It really isn't. But, to each his own. You know what also I like? I like Moscow Mules. I had one of those not too long ago. They're actually pretty tasty. Where should we go from here? But yeah, so as you guys saw, I did buy some new things for costumes. I had to figure out how I'm going to do my Beetlejuice costume. Now, I know Hot Topic has some stuff right now that I might be able to use. The thing is, to buy a costume, I was looking at the feminine versions. I can't pull that off for work. They're just too risque. Not that I don't mind doing risque things in a tasteful manner. But some of those costumes, like the one that I found for Beetlejuice for a woman, was basically a swimsuit. And I can't show up to the office in that. I will be in the HR office quicker than anything, and I don't really want to do it. That would be extremely awkward. I found something on Facebook once where it's like, I was told to dress for the job I wanted, so now I'm sitting in HR's office dressed as Batman. And I think it's like the cutest thing ever. I thought it was so funny. I love Batman. Actually, little known fact. No, they wouldn't. Little known fact, my favorite superhero is Batman. I love Batman. I grew up on like the Tim Burton one and stuff like that. The Dark Knight was pretty awesome. I just feel I like DC Comics better than Marvel, and I know that like some people's heads are gonna blow up when I say that. I'm not in like where I am, like the people that I know. I'm not in popular opinion. There's only like a handful that agree with me. I don't know. I don't like the new Spider-Mans. I just like at this point with the whole movie thing, I feel like that we keep rebooting movies because we don't have any new ideas, and it's like old. It's like, okay, we're gonna do Spider-Man all over again for the 15th millionth time. Like, we're not doing anything new. Although they are starting to do some new stuff. I really loved Guardians of the Galaxy. That was really awesome. I believe they're Marvel. I don't know for sure. I'm sorry. No, they have to be Marvel. I'm more than positive yes, they are Marvel. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I like Guardians of the Galaxy a lot. I thought the second movie was really good. But I don't typically tend to lean towards Marvel. I tend to lean towards DC more. I love Hellboy. I don't think he's a Marvel or Hulk. I don't mind. The first Hulk that they made all those years ago, that was pretty bad. But the newer Hulk I do like. I think that character was built up. But when he first came out, that Hulk was bad. It was pretty bad. The new Godzilla actually looks pretty decent. I'm not understanding the whole Jurassic World thing. Like, when the last Jurassic World came out, it's like, okay. So, we already know we can't control these dinosaurs. That's why we have these two islands that we've already done 3 movies on. that we can't control these things. We already know we can't control these animals. They eat us and this and that. So what do? We hybrid two dinosaurs that we already can't control into one massive dinosaur. This is smart. This is a great move. Are you that dumb? I wanted to smack somebody. Somebody should just go and smack somebody. I'm just kind of over the whole Jurassic Park thing right now. I thought the first one was great. Second one was not bad. Third one, we could have left it at that. I guess, what child doesn't love dinosaurs? So maybe they're just trying to cash in on dinosaur sales. I don't know. I haven't seen the last Jurassic World, to be honest with you. I just didn't like the whole, like, when I watched the trailer, I wasn't, like, amused about it. And now they're coming out with a new one. But, you know, to each his own. To be truthful, though, I did see the new Incredibles movie. I was actually pleasantly surprised about that. The last sequel that Disney did, I was really disappointed with. The whole Finding Dory thing. I felt like, okay, it's been how many years between Nemo and Dory? It's been a very long time. And I thought between all that time and all that anticipation and stuff like that, that the story would have been written a little bit better. I felt the story was rushed. You have this octopus character, I forget his name now, Hank, I think is his name. And they didn't really build this character up other than that he wanted to, he doesn't want to go back out into the ocean. He wants to stay at the aquarium more than anything. He's just Dory's car throughout the film. And you don't understand why he wants to go into the, into the aquarium. What's his backstory? They haven't really, not that you, I mean, in the first Nemo, you have a little bit of Dory's backstory. Not a lot, but there's enough there to keep you interested in the character, where I feel like with Hank, there wasn't. And I feel the story was extremely rushed. Here you are, you're hanging out with little Nemo and Marlin. All of a sudden, I remember my parents. Oh my God, we gotta go. Now you remember? After all this time, now you're going through and you're slowly remembering things here and there, which is great. But I just feel like for all the time that they had to make that movie, that I feel the story was rushed and it wasn't as good as it could have been. So going in to see The Incredibles, I kind of had the same mindset. Now I went through the drive-in. I saw a movie before The Incredibles that I wanted to see. So I stayed to see it, and I was like, well, might as well. And but I didn't have high hopes. Oh, we're going to have to probably. You guys still with me? Okay. I'm running out of battery, so we're going to cut this short soon. So I didn't have high hopes with the Incredibles film because of what they did with Dory. But I was actually pleasantly surprised with how well they did the Incredibles. I think I liked it actually better than the first one. So that was pretty cool. And we saw Hotel Transylvania. That was okay. It's not the best out of the Hotel Transylvania movies, I'll say that. However, what I liked about it is I just came back. Not just came back. It's been like a month and a half since I've been to Bermuda, and I miss it. But they took a cruise ship to the Bermuda Triangle, so I wanted to see it because like the ship looks similar to the ship I took. And, I was like, oh, they're going on a cruise ship to pretty much where I was. So that's the main reason why I want to see it. Plus, Adam Sandler, I don't know if he wrote this one. I know he wrote the other two. But it was really cute. It's a cute little movie. I like kids' movies. So I really did enjoy that. But anyway, guys, because my battery is dying, unfortunately, we're going to have to end this now. Tomorrow is a full agenda. So I don't know if we're going to be doing any live showings tomorrow. I might be able to do it Sunday. But what should we talk about on Sunday? I kind of been wanting to talk about, thanks, James, you too. You have a good weekend too. Yeah, we have, my family has a business that, we sell a lot of products to a lot of the local, a lot of areas in the local area. And they're doing a huge festival this weekend. And we're going up there to have some fun. So it should be interesting. And Sunday, I don't think there's too much going on besides, prepping for the work week. So let's aim for Sunday. So I kind of want to do something like maybe talking about some of the, yes, we could do a festival outfit of the day. That would be fun. Definitely. So maybe on Sunday, I've been playing with the idea of doing, because I know I didn't necessarily grow up traditionally like how some Americans have, growing up with a very strong, like I said, my mom was first generation here, So there was a very, very, very strong European, a very strong German influence. And there's a lot of foods that Americans live on that I didn't experience until I was much older, until I was in my teen or in my 20s. And just kind of like wanted to talk about some of that and like living, like kind of like sharing my side of the story on how that was. Because growing up, I didn't realize that these things weren't, I don't want to say the term normal, but that these were special, you know, as far as us. Because I'd bring friends over and they'd be like, what? Or I'd use some words that apparently were German words, but didn't pick up on it because that was used in the household. So I was thinking about doing something like that, like talking about how I grew up, or like some of the traditions that we did while I grew up. Something along those lines I'm thinking about. Or we could talk makeup or more shoes. I mean, you see my shoe collection. Um, I need to buy more shoes. I need to try. Maybe I should do that this weekend. Maybe I should try to do that this weekend. But there's not too many places close by this weekend, and I gotta stay close because of this festival. Okay, guys. So that is that. I hope you enjoyed this. I know this is like a super long video, and I've been going off on different tangents and stuff like that. But that's depends on how some of my videos go. But yeah, so I would have loved to have talked more about some of my other favorite like things like the old Playboy shirts and stuff like that. I love that kind of thing, like the old 2000s fashion as well. So we will definitely be doing a live thing sometime on Sunday. I don't know when. And we'll just talk. So anyway, if you guys don't follow me yet on my Facebook page, I have a Facebook fan page on here. Same name. I also have an Instagram with the same name. I have a Snapchat. Is that everything? I think so. I do have a Twitter too. I try to use it, but I don't use it as often as I should. But I do use it. So follow me on those things. I'm trying to start posting on there more when I'm going to be doing live videos, ideas for videos, possible giveaway ideas, and stuff like that of that nature. So I'm slowly working on it. Again, been quite busy. And the summers are very crazy for me anyway. But definitely follow me on those forums as well. And we'll try to keep you up to date as much as possible on future live videos. Because I've really been loving this. I've really been loving this a lot. This has been a lot of fun. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get going. And I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.